Thank you very much, Mr. Bierbaum, for this kind introduction. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, ni hao. Maybe let me start with a few personal remarks. So I see myself as a very humble but frequent traveler to China over now something like 15 years. And recently I'm seeing more and more remote places. I think in the last decade I was to places, and I'm still frequently traveling to places like Beijing, Shanghai, Hong Kong. But more and more I think we see business I think in the countryside. So I see more places like Wuhan, Taizhou, and many other cities which are prospering and where a lot of business is looking at Germany and looking for investment opportunities and partnership and sourcing partners in Germany. So that's something which I personally find very inspiring and very exciting, and to see those cities developing with a very sound infrastructure in many instances and becoming partners for German businesses as well. Something certainly the Financial Center of Frankfurt wants to support and wants to foster. Maybe also for a start, a few words on Frankfurt Main Finance. Frankfurt Main Finance as an association is the voice of the Financial Center of Frankfurt. Among our members are the state of Hessen, so the local state, cities of Frankfurt and Eschborn, local universities, and of course the leading financial institutions here in Frankfurt and the area Rhine-Main. So among them, obviously, banks, not only the domestic banks, but also international banks are among our members. So our mission certainly is to support the German and European real economy. So we care about the German businesses and with our members providing finance and the right services for the German and European businesses, I think, to grow and I think to develop the German economy. And our objective obviously is to position Frankfurt, which is the heart of Europe and the leading continental and Eurozone financial center, promote it nationally and also internationally. So that's what we are doing for those of you who are not familiar with Frankfurt Main Finance. China obviously is a very important topic for us. It's certainly a priority. If you look at the Sino-German trade, and if you have listened to, I think, both governments, the Chinese and the German governments, in the last consultations, they've set the target for the German Sino trade to grow and to reach the 200 billion euro level very soon from the 140, 150 we have currently. I think it's something which is of strong interest of both countries that this develops. And obviously, the right financial services are required for this, I think, from lending, from credit, from the right payment services. I will come to this in a minute. And Mr. Meist has addressed the Renminbi Offshore Center already. So to all kinds of other services which are needed. So for us, as a financial center, we support all these activities. We have partners with Beijing and Shanghai. We have the two leading financial centers in mainland China as our partners. We have signed cooperation agreements with them. And we also maintain very close relationship with Hong Kong, with the financial center in Hong Kong, because still a lot of business on the financial side is channeled via Hong Kong. And this is certainly something we need to support as well. Let me focus a little bit on the offshore renminbi center. That's something which is a very important initiative. So many players in Frankfurt, including Bank of China, but also including the central bank, the regulator, and on the Chinese side, the People's Bank of China, they have worked on this. So we managed to start the Renminbi Offshore Center last year. We have also started last year our marketing activities. And we are currently focusing on marketing the renminbi offshore center abroad in leading other European financial centers, I think. And our aim is really to make a difference, to reduce costs, not only for German, but for all European enterprises, in particular small and medium-sized enterprises, which rely on very efficient payment structures. And so we want to achieve lower costs for them. We want to reduce the costs of renminbi payments. So when they deal with Chinese counterparts, whether they supply or whether they deliver, and they have to pay their invoices, we want to have this as efficient as possible to support the Sino-German trade, because efficient payment services, I think, are a very important cornerstone for all these trading activities. In addition, we want to come up with more products, with better products. You might have heard about Goethe bonds, which was one of the initiatives which started last year. And also we want to come up with all kinds of hedging products, which allows the German and European enterprises to better manage their risk, be it currency risk or any other kinds of risk related to China and German trading activities. Second, also this has been mentioned already, we certainly are looking forward to what Deutsche Börse is doing together with Shanghai Stock Exchange and together with a China Futures Exchange, also located in Shanghai. So they have recently announced that they cooperate on basis of an existing cooperation which dates back in 2003, 2004, when the Shanghai Stock Exchange bought trading technology from Deutsche Börse. So the trading infrastructure, the system which is handling all those countless transactions in Chinese securities in Shanghai. This is something which was bought at the time, which also helps so that the same technology is used both here in Frankfurt and in Shanghai. And now they're working on providing access to mutual securities and mutual derivatives. So starting with Chinese securities and derivatives denominated in renminbi, which will be offered here in Frankfurt in a joint venture, but also, I think, step by step, I think also access will be given to German securities. I think having this mutual trade on one hand and mutual investments also in the securities and derivatives market, I think that's something which is very important. And we have already seen how important it is if you look at Shanghai and Hong Kong and look at the trade through train, so the Stock Connect, the connection between the two stock exchanges in Hong Kong and Shanghai. And if you've monitored how strongly the volume has grown there, I think if only part of it will be visible between Deutsche Börse and Shanghai, that's certainly something which is very important. Thirdly, if you look at the still weak euro compared to, I think, 1 or 2 years ago, my impression is we see more and more Chinese investment into Germany. So from a Chinese point of view, German investment, German assets are seen currently as a bargain, be it companies, in particular small and medium-sized enterprises are on their shopping list, so to say, but also other kinds of German assets up to real estate. And this is certainly something where then the Chinese banks, but also maybe some of the German banks, certainly can provide services and can support this. And also the whole financial centers with legal advisors, tax advisors, and all kinds of other players, I think they are supportive. They are looking forward to see that business, and they are looking forward to stronger ties between China and Germany. So in general, having the leading Chinese banks here in Frankfurt with strong branches, I think that's certainly very, very helpful in that sense. If you look at these 3 initiatives, the offshore RMB center, the connection with Deutsche Börse in Shanghai, the exchanges in Shanghai, and also the Chinese investment into Germany. But in addition, also we see it as very important to have a stronger presence, hopefully in the future, of Dagong, Europe Rating, because we see more and more demand also for ratings in terms of those investments, let's say, from Chinese counterparts into Germany, into Europe, and also for investments in the other direction. So I think ratings to create trust and to create a sound understanding about the credit risk of certain investments, that's certainly something which is very important. So personally, I found it very, very helpful that Dagong got the blessing of ESMA 2 years ago and the approval. And as I said, I hope also besides the Chinese banks in Germany, also Dagong, I think will become a very important cornerstone in supporting all that kind of business. So in general, we are looking for a stronger presence of all kinds of our Chinese partners, whether they want to invest in Germany via Frankfurt, via the financial center, or whether they want to have other trade activities which we can support. That's something we appreciate very much. We certainly want to see more Chinese business, and definitely we will see more Chinese business. I don't see any issues, obstacles for this. But nevertheless, we need to work on this. We need to be active. We need to understand our Chinese partners. Mr. Mais has talked about languages. I have to admit my Mandarin is also very poor. Even my Cantonese is better than my Mandarin because I spent quite some time in Hong Kong. But nevertheless, I think if I'm traveling in the countryside in China, in places like Wuhan, also the English there is very weak. So I think there are gaps we need to close. We need to have bilingual staff, bilingual people who can help filling those bridges, who have a sound understanding of both cultures. I think it's clear there are certainly differences in the way we are doing business. I've said I'm a humble visitor to China, a humble frequent visitor, and from my Chinese colleagues, every time I learn a lot how they do their business, and then it works usually in the way, so we are sitting in meetings and they act in a certain way, and then after that I said, why didn't you disclose all those details we discussed before? And they say things like, I wanted to test my partners first. I won't tell them everything right from the beginning. So they have a very clever approach usually. So the way I do business is different, so we can learn a lot from each other. And we have to learn a lot from each other to support each other and become good partners and maintain this partnership. And finally, hopefully very soon, reach the level of 200 billion euro mutual trade. That's something I think we are targeting. And from the financial center point of view, we want to support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Biedermann. Are there from the auditorium questions for Dr. Biedermann? I will have one for you. I really want to understand what, in your view, are sort of the perception of hurdles to develop and do business in Europe, or in particular in Germany, from the Chinese point of view. Because we always talk about there's hurdles in doing business in China if you are a European. But here the question really is exactly the other direction. Do you have any observation?
Sure, of course. So obviously it depends on the size of the partners. So we both know we have very big businesses on both sides in China and in Germany who are doing excellent business in the million of euro or tens million of renminbi level. So I think that I don't see many hurdles. So obviously regulation is an issue, and changing regulation in both jurisdictions is an issue. But I think they have a sound understanding how to do businesses. If you go a little bit further down and look at smaller enterprises, Chinese enterprises, so I think there's a lack of understanding. There are cultural gaps, there are language gaps. So lack of knowledge about the right German counterparts for them. So usually I get the question, so I don't know, I want to see I want to get a partner for financing, I want to find a legal advisor, tax advisor, or even I want to find the right sourcing partner for me. And then due to the lack of language, they don't know who could be good counterparts for them in Germany. And that's a kind of question. So very basic one I see very frequently. So usually the Chinese companies I talk to, they're very ambitious. They want to act quick, but then, yeah, there's this lack of knowledge, and they need to have good partners, good advisors, which guide them, I think, to the right partners on the German side.